Chef Suzio. Welcome to my new followers. Welcome to my old followers. Love you. So today I will be making. I feel like I would say that something's my favorite when I film the tutorial, but shit, I like all my food. So this is one of my favorite dishes. Today I am making a traditional breakfast dish that originated from North Africa, Shakshuka. Nah, shame my older sister. It's a delicious dish with tomatoes, eggs, feta, tomatoes, and other spices. But today I will be showing you how I, Chef Suzio, adapted my own shakshuka recipe because you know I like to do things in the beat of my own drum. So, shakshuka, as I mentioned, it is a dish that is commonly served as breakfast. It is usually served alongside bread and pita bread to just, soak up all that tomato sauce. I have made this dish numerous of times for clients, friends, family, myself, blah, 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 blah. I have always made it a little different, but today I will be sharing you guys with my final recipe that I'm gifting to you guys. So you're welcome. Alright, so you're like, Suzio, what makes your shakshuka different than the original shakshuka? Well, I like to make my own tomato sauce because I'm bad like that. I like to add a different type of spices. The original recipe calls for cumin and paprika. I believe maybe some oregano, I don't know. Because like I said, I made my own recipe. But for Suzio's, we'll get it later into the spices, but I have about definitely more than 3 spices in my shakshuka. Anyhow, but I'm going to start off with the most important part and the base of the shakshuka, and which is the tomato sauce. When I first started making this recipe, I used to always use canned tomatoes. But I just feel like the more flavor you build up, I like rich type of foods, so I'm all about just building up on flavor. So if I have a recipe that calls for tomato sauce, I'll usually just like to make my own tomato sauce if I have the time. Usually I ain't got time for all that, but today we have the time. So I'm going to show you guys when you have the time. Anyhow, so we're going to start with making our tomato sauce. And in order to do that, we need to blanch and shock our tomatoes. So you're like, Suzio, what is blanching? What is shocking? Well, so it is 2 different cooking techniques. Blanching, folks, is when you place your vegetables in boiling water, and not to cook them, but to either just kind of par cook, steam, or as in the case of tomatoes, to remove our skin. And then next we'll move into shocking. And then that is stopping the process of cooking by placing the vegetables in an ice cold water bath. So I'll be showing you guys the technique of doing that today. First, it's all about your equipment. Right now I have had boiling water going. It is ready to go. Ooh, English, hello. Ow. It is ready to go. Water is boiling. You will need a paring knife. One of my favorite tools is spider. And then another one of my favorite tools, some tongs. And then you need 2 bowls. One, an empty bowl. That will be to remove, once you remove your tomatoes from being shocked, they'll go into that bowl. And then I got a bowl of ice cold water. You want to have that already prepared for you. You want to have, when you're doing this, when you're blanching your vegetables, have everything ready because it is a quick process. These tomatoes are literally going to take me about 15 to 20 seconds. So you want to have everything ready and prepared for you so you're not moving around the kitchen. Anybody got time for that, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I have 2 different types of tomatoes. I like to use Roma tomatoes. Usually for any tomato sauce, I use Roma. I always have so much inventory left over in my fridge for my clients at the end of the week, so I try not to waste anything and utilize everything that I possibly can. So I also have a hothouse tomato. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna take our paring knife, little tomato. I like to call this the booty of the tomato. So what we're gonna do is score. We're pretty much just gonna put a little cross at the end. So add a cross at the end of each of your tomato. And then what this does is that when you blanch them, it's gonna lift and then make it easy for you to peel. So if you don't do this, it's not really a big deal, but it does make it quicker and easier. Alright. Tomatoes scored. Next, let's blanch. Got some hot water. I did put some salt up in here. So I'm going to go ahead and then be careful, folks. Okay, be careful. This is also what's good about the spider, is that it makes it easy for you to place your veggies. Alright. So, we're going to get those going. That over there. So since we got some time, might as well, say hi, introduce myself to my new folks, my old folks. I am Chef Suzio. I'm a private chef, personal chef, and a caterer. I am also a recipe developer, not really associated with anyone but myself. I am also currently teaching kids classes, having a blast with that. I enjoy long walks at the park until I'm ready to go home, and that's usually within about 15 minutes because I am, I'm a homebody. I love to cook, obviously. Been doing that since I was 5. A few years ago, if you ever watch a Food Network, I was on a cute little show called Supermarket Steak Out. I was on season 1, episode 4, so check it out. Did she win? Maybe. Anywho, enough about me. I can keep on going. So let me check my tomatoes, because like I said, it only takes about 10-15 seconds, but this might take longer than that as I'm using an induction cooktop, so it's not going to be as fast as my gas range stove, but it's getting there. But yeah, Shakshuka. So I remember I made this recipe about 3 years ago for one of my favorite clients. So my tomatoes are now ready to be removed from the water and to be shucked. I don't know why I love saying blanching and shucking like that. Oh yeah. And like I said, you're not cooking. You're not cooking the tomatoes, because I can actually smell them a little bit right now. But you're not cooking the tomatoes. You're just blanching them, parboiling them so you get them peeled. What am I doing with this? Spider, boom. All right. So right now we are right now we are shocking our tomatoes. So we're really just going to do this for a few seconds, get them stop cooking. Yes. Then we'll drain this bowl that I had. There we go. Now we can move on. So next we are going to remove the skins. So turn this sucker off. Okay, so we're going to remove the skin of the tomatoes. So as you can see where we did our cross, you just lift the skin as such. Beautiful. This girl's cute. Don't call her Bertha. She's really nice and plump. Make this sauce delicious. I talk to my food. I think it's important, you gotta let them know that they're loved, that you appreciate them, that they are being placed and a beautiful sauce. So you just want them to just, be happy and excited about it. So yeah, so remove all of your skins. And then say if I wasn't going to make a sauce today, I would just chop these up or blend them and just freeze them for later, for another time. I once had a roommate many years ago. But anyhow, her and her best friend, it was super cute, but they used to get together once a year and make canned tomato sauce, like just cans of tomato sauces. It was like their thing to do together. It was cute. But they would literally make about gallons of freaking tomato sauce, and then I swear, like by the second year of living together, that tomato sauce was still in the freezer, so it could last a long time. So it's just nice to do this ahead of time, so then you don't have to really worry about it the day that you're making something. Like you're making bolognese, lasagna, all that jam. I love tomatoes. My favorite tomatoes are heirloom tomatoes. I'm actually growing them in my little balcony. They haven't came in yet, thanks to my mamacita for getting me the seeds. But I usually like to eat my heirloom tomatoes like an apple, a little sea salt. But yeah, I love tomatoes. Tomatoes are like one of the most commonly used vegetables in African cooking. I mean it's a basis honestly in every damn cooking. Oops. Anyhow, so I'm gonna wash my hands. So next, folks, just gonna show you guys. This is what my tomatoes look like once I have removed the skin. So this is the beautiful technique of blanching and shocking your vegetables. As you can see, they're nice. And what is also super important about this technique is that it keeps the color of the vegetables, as I like to call it, the integrity of the vegetables. But anytime I make asparagus, broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, any vegetable, I usually, because I like my veggies crunchy, so I usually blanch and shock them and then saute them or grill them or roast them or whatever. But you can still have the beautiful, vibrant color of the tomatoes. So next, so we do. Okay, so next, folks, you're gonna watch a chef. You know how we do things. I'm gonna empty out my water, and then we're gonna start sauteing our vegetables together, and then I'll let you guys know what goes all in my shakshuka. So let me just do a little cleanup real quick. Music, 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 music. Boom. Look at that. I'm not going to use a cutting board today. I'm going to, if y'all don't mind, I already prepped out my vegetables. I am going to quarter my tomatoes, but I'm just going to cut them like how my mama does. Just as is in the pot. So, I'm going to get this going. So I'm going to start now putting my shakshuka together with all my vegetables and my spices. My favorite part. This is when the house starts becoming a little fragrant. Neighbors start texting, Susie, what are you making? Alright, so I am using extra virgin olive oil. You can use canola, grapeseed. I am using extra virgin olive oil. I am going to put about 3 tablespoons extra virgin olive oil. And then to start off, we have 1 whole yellow onion, and then I have 4 cloves of garlic. I am leaving the garlic whole because this sauce is actually going to go in the Vitamix. So, and I'll let you guys know why and how I'm doing that once we get there. So first, saute some onion and garlic. I like to dance while I'm cooking, so hopefully y'all don't mind. Usually y'all have music on about right now. Right now, what type of music am I listening to? It changes about every day, the mood, whatever I'm cooking, the theme. Lately I've been doing a lot of 70s rock, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner. I'm an old soul, folks, old soul. Alright. Oh, I love the smell of onions cooking. So I have 1 whole onion, 4 cloves of garlic sauteing in here. Next, I'm going to add salt and pepper. Generous amounts. Pepper. Yes. But yeah, when I made this shakshuka for my client's wedding weekend, it was also one of my favorite moments as a caterer, and I kind of got a little emotional, right? And texted my sister afterwards. I was like, yo, I killed it. They loved the shakshuka. Everybody kept on asking me, what is this? What's in it? Especially the aunties and the mamas, like that made me so happy because they enjoyed it. They asked for this recipe. But I just remember everybody was surrounded around the counter, literally grilled bread, just dipping it into shakshuka. I think I made 3 batches of it that day, so it was a lot of shakshuka, but it was a hit. It was a hit. Alright, so I have my onion and garlic sauteing. Next, alright, this is the most important part, my favorite part, the fun part. Spices. I love spices. I am the spice queen. Look, if you're going to cook, flavor. What's the point of cooking and eating if you ain't going to have no flavor up in your food? Why? It's upsetting me right now. And then, I've actually seen people use salt. Salt. You always salt your food. You want flavor. So, this is the most important part. This is the part that y'all better pay attention about, okay? Turn off your TV. Stop looking at your iPhone, whatever, and pay attention to this part. The spices, or what makes Suzu's shakshuka. So, I put Aleppo and za'atar spices. I have 2 teaspoons of za'atar and 2 teaspoons of Aleppo pepper. These are 2 of my favorite spices. And they're both commonly used in North African and Middle Eastern dishes. So I just felt like it was a great addition to this dish. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my onion and garlic. So that was 2 teaspoons of za'atar and Aleppo pepper. And then next I have 1 teaspoon of oregano, smoked paprika, and this is okay. And then this is the 2 of the most important key spices: coriander and cardamom. I'm obsessed with cardamom, so anytime you eat my food, just expect that you might have some cardamom in it. But this is what makes this special. So I'll repeat this again for y'all: 1 teaspoon of oregano, smoked paprika. Okay, what else do I have up here? I'm cheating. I gotta look at my little cheat sheet. Coriander and cardamom. Okay, that's all up in there. And then this is another little special part. The original recipe calls for cumin, paprika, and cayenne. There is 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne, but I also like to add cinnamon. There's just something about the aromatics of the cinnamon and the sweetness that just feel like adds a nice balance to this. So cayenne pepper and cinnamon, 1/8 teaspoon. Woo! Smells good up in here. So, as you can see, honey, if I ain't coughing, I didn't season it enough. She coughing now. Don't mind me. All right, so that's going. Next, something else a little different. I like to add 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. I love for my shakshuka to be really dark and vibrant in color. And then the original recipe does call for 1 whole pepper, but I like to step it up a notch and get 1 roasted pepper. So this is a roasted pepper, just 1. I'm going to add that in there. Mix. Alright. Next, So I'm gonna now add my tomatoes. I'm gonna do this like an African lady, like I am. Because anybody got time for no cutting board? So I'm just cutting these a little bit. This is all going in a blender, so they don't need to be cut perfectly. I like to blend my sauce. Even if I use canned tomatoes, I still just like to blend my shakshuka sauce. I don't know. When it comes to food, I'm a texture person. But because I like to really dip this with some bread and then, you eat it with an egg and everything, I just like for the sauce to just be a blended sauce. But what we're going to do is we are going to cook these tomatoes down. Okay. And then no waste. That delicious juice left over. Alright, and next, just have this in low heat. You don't need to add any broth, but I am going to add, I think I'll add about 2 tablespoons of water. Just so it cooks down. And then once again, salt. And then to cut down, I don't know, maybe I should start a debate. Okay, I'm gonna start a debate, whatever. So I was on the Insta the other day, and there was a debate going on about people if they use sugar in their tomato sauce or not. And people were like, ew, gross, what? Well, here's why. I like to add a little pinch of sugar to any type of tomato sauce that I make so I can cut the acidity. It doesn't, if you miss that step, it's not the biggest deal, but it does make a little bit of a difference, like I said, to cut the acidity of the tomatoes. Especially I feel like canned tomatoes have more acidic in them, so I definitely would use some sugar canned tomatoes. But I'm still, because I use tomato paste in this recipe, I'm going to add just a few pinches of sugar. I mean, that's literally it. So for all y'all people tripping about sugar, that's literally it. And like I said, we do it to cut down the acidity. All right? It don't make it sweet. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting very defensive over here about my sugar. Alright. So, we're going to pump this up because I know you guys are hungry. I know you guys want to see the finished product. So, I'm going to turn up the heat. Scrape the bottom a little bit so all that spices comes up. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just do that. And I'm going to just do a little cleanup, so don't mind me. And then I'm going to get everything that we need for our shakshuka ready. Got some fresh cilantro as a garnish. I still want my salt and pepper here right next to me. Salt and pepper's here. And then I am going to grab my eggs. And then my feta cheese. And then that's it. Alright, so I'm just gonna wait. So I have this on medium heat. It's covered. You just want to bring it to a simmer, and I will simmer it down for about 5 to 10 minutes. So this is when, like I said, you get everything together. Oh, wait, got my scrumptious bread to be served alongside. Yeah. So that's about it, folks. Got my My blender's ready. Like I said, have everything ready and prepared for you because I haven't got time for that. And like, doesn't it make it more special anyhow? Like by the time you're done cooking, you can just sit your ass down and eat. You know, rather than like, you know. So you know, I'm a firm believer as clean as you go. But this is a super simple recipe. I don't really feel like you need to eat shakshuka for breakfast. It also makes a great dinner. Personally, I mean, it's filled my ass up. You have protein from the egg. You got the carbs from the bread. I mean, it makes a delicious dinner. When I'm excited about food, I like to dance. So clearly I'm very excited about the shakshuka because I love shakshuka. I feel like we should rename this Shakshuka. Shakshuka? I don't know. But you know, when you guys make this, please, when you make it, share your pictures. You know, slide my DMs if you want. Share your pictures with me of your shakshuka. Please try this recipe because I can guarantee you guys are gonna freaking love it. One more important thing. Actually, the most important thing. I didn't even taste my sauce. Oh yeah. I can smell that lepo, that bell pepper. See, that's why you add the sugar, because you know why too? The heat. Why does it cut down the acidity? It cuts down the heat. Alright, I'm going to turn this off because it's ready. I am going to add more salt. And then we'll let that cool down before I add it to my Vitamix. And then what I'm going to do right now is get my eggs ready. I want to crack my eggs individually so I don't have any shells going in them. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. God, I'm like so excited for this food. What am I doing? Okay. Sorry guys, I'm like really stoked. Just go like this. So I like to crack my eggs in their own little bowl, as I mentioned, because I don't want to get any eggshells in them. There's one egg. This recipe is 4 to 6 servings, so I'm going to do 4 eggs. Da-da-da. And then you, little guy, you'll be the lucky one. You'll be sacrificed. I'm going first. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead sauce going. So yes, we're going to blend this so it's nice and smooth. OMG. Oh wait, I was like, I'm gonna tell y'all to turn your ovens on because you're gonna need to, because you need to blast this for a second. But the thing is, you just want a low broil. Don't mind me. Okay. So put the rest of our together. So I turned my oven on low broil because you're really, once you put this in the oven, you're just cooking the eggs on top. And that will only take about a few, I'll say about like a minute or two. Alright folks, so I'm going to blend my tomatoes, bell pepper, onion, garlic, and all my delicious spices. Alright, that's blended enough. I'm gonna add this back to the pot because we're actually going to be cooking everything in this pot. All right, so the eggs. This is why I but this is why I put an egg in each little bowl, so it's just easy to place. Bloop. Eggs. When my sister was pregnant with my nephew, and when she gave birth to my little munchkin, I made this for her. And I remember I made her a huge batch that was pretty much for her 6 servings, and I think she ate it like every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it was finished, but I'm pretty stoked. Alright, so I am gonna now add this to the oven. Well, not add, but put it in the oven. I have the oven on low broil. It's probably gonna be in there for about, I wanna say 2 to 4 minutes, but we'll check at 2 minutes. Oven mitts, doing laundry. Okay. Alright, got some sourdough bread. Got my cilantro. Got my feta. You could use goat cheese or feta or no cheese. I'm lactose, but honestly, I can't sacrifice cheese, not yet. And I'm addicted to goat cheese and feta, so honey, we're not eliminating that. What am I looking for? What's Susie looking for? Another thing I like to eat my shakshuka. Some hot sauce. Gotta have some hot sauce. All right, just waiting for our shakshuka. Get a spoon ready, so I'm ready to plate it. I'm so excited. All right, folks. Yeah, so this is my shakshuka, one of my favorite recipes that I've created. I will be sharing the recipe on my website and on my Instagram if you would also like to find it there as well as on my YouTube page. But yeah, so if you have, any pictures you would love to share, if you make this, please send them over my way. And I do hope you guys get to make this. Kids love it. It's great for breakfast for kids. It's hearty, it's filling. I sometimes eat this as my pre-workout meal, and damn, does it really help, like, just get the energy going. But yeah, so shakshuka, delicious, 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 delicious. Love it. Let me check it real quick. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. Damn, did I have to keep talking?
You think good?
Okay, yeah, it's gonna take a minute. So let me clean up real quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, folks, so shakshuka is out of the oven. She looks delicious. So, I'm gonna garnish some feta. I like feta, so I like to add a lot. So don't you, if you want to judge me, I don't really care. So that's just how I like to roll. So I like to roll. So go add some feta, some garnish. Okay, and then some cilantro. Just little leaves of cilantro. Just to garnish this pretty little girl up in here. Another thing about this dish too is that it's very pretty. Make it very pretty. The colors are scrumptious. Does that to be perfect? Just gonna do. All right, folks. We got some bread right here. We got some hot sauce. Okay. And so that is it, folks. This is Susie Shakshuka. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys get a chance to try this recipe. And if you do, please send some pictures over to me so I could just be jealous and proud of all of you guys. It's beautiful work. So yes, I'm gonna lift this so y'all can see this delicious. Look at that shakshuka and that tomato sauce. So this took about 30 minutes to cook. I would say for prepping, cooking, everything together, it's about a 35 to 45-minute dish. And that's, of course, involving the prep of the veggies I didn't show you on camera. But yeah, so shakshuka. I'm gonna take a little bite because I was stoked. Got some grilled sourdough bread. Goddamn. Fuck, I can cook. I mean, goddamn. Alright. I'm gonna go eat this shit up. I'm gonna go eat this shit up. Alright. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe.